This is the low-level video on strings for advanced comp sci. The program that I'm using to demonstrate the use of strings in Java is the password.java program, the first program of the year that we did. So there's a few components in this program that have to deal with strings. So first off, we need to get input from the user. So the user needs to input a password, which will then be checked to see that it's valid. So we can use this with the scanner class. And what the scanner class does is it'll emit a scanner, and which basically takes things from the stream that the user inputs, and it will take that user input and put it into a string variable. That would be in lines 6 and 5 of the program. So we need to create a scanner, and then the program enter the while loop where it keeps scanning for a string until that string passes the isValid method, which in this program checks if the password complies with all the regulations put in place. So if we go down to the isValid method in the program, see that the entire method is one Boolean statement. So in this Boolean statement, the first parameter just checks that the password has more or equal to 8 characters. And then after that, it does a variety of string patterns. And it checks for patterns in strings. And if it has all of these patterns, the method will return true. And if any of these patterns don't work, are not found in the string, the method will return false. So you can see the first one, in regular expression terms, will check for a dot, so any character, and an asterisk means for any amount, so any character for any amount of characters, and then in brackets it's just looking for any character that's within the brackets. So in this case, for the first statement, it is every character from capital A to capital D. And then after that, it's any character for any amount of spaces. And then we again check for the same parameter in the second statement, but for lowercase. And then so on, we check for numbers. And then in this one, we enter a new type of pattern, which is searching for anything not in the brackets. That can be indicated by this caret character. So this will indicate that anything, so I'm looking for any character for any amount of spaces, and then anything that's not in this brackets. And in these brackets, there's lowercase a through z, there's capital A through z, and the numbers 0 through 9. So this will look for any special character. And then after that, we have the final parameter. So what the final requirement for the password is that it contains no spaces. So we can do this by using the non-white space character, which is capital S, and then plus. So this will match if the entirety of the string is just all non-white space. And if all of these parameters, all of these statements are true, the isValid method will return true, and the while loop up here will end. And then we enter into the phase where the user enters their password and verifies it. So they will have to enter their password again, and they have 3 tries to do this. So the program, in order to emulate this, enter the do while loop, and it'll ask them to enter their password again, and the do while loop will loop for 3 times. And then afterwards, it'll exit if the user either submits their password successfully or the tries become greater than 3. And then after that, we have a if statement that'll check if the tries are greater than or equal to 3. It'll just output that the second password didn't equal the first password. And if they got the second password in less than or 3 tries, it'll exit the while loop with a break statement and then it'll print to the output password entered successfully. So we can test this out by just compiling the program. We can do java password.java. We can enter a password. So let's try first with an invalid password. So pass and then space word. And it'll ask us to enter a valid password. And we can try this in a lot of ways. So like this password does not have any special characters. So it'll return false. And now we can try something that does have special characters. Special character, a capital letter, a number, and it enters successfully. And now we have enter your password again. So if we fail to do this in 3 tries, it'll say your second password doesn't match your first password, and that'll restart the process. So right back from the start, so you're going to have to remake a password and then do the second attempt. So we can try this again with this valid password, and then we enter this again, and it'll say the password entered successfully, and it'll exit the program. This is just sort of a basic program to show how pattern matching in strings and showing how getting user input can be really powerful in Java.